Welcome to the Ravens Space YouTube. My name is Jason, and this is Ravens Space Daily, where we talk about the Baltimore Ravens news every single day. Thank you guys so much for joining me. It's the last episode of the week, so we're going to hop right in. As you guys know, the Baltimore Ravens schedule was released yesterday, so we're going to talk in depth about the schedule. Again, please subscribe for more great Baltimore Ravens news. And we'll start with the hot takes on the schedule. So I'm going to put the schedule on the screen for you guys to see. And this schedule is pretty favorable for the Ravens. So I'm just going to go through and so you can see some of the very specific highlights of the schedule that I see when I look through the schedule. So the first one is something that we talked about before, about the home games and the away games for Monday night. It was on yesterday's episode. It was a rumor, but it's been confirmed. The Baltimore Ravens have one Monday night game against the Houston Texans, November 27th. And so I'm very excited about this. It's going to be awesome. It makes me happy to see that we do have a game prime time on the Monday night. So that's the first hot take. The second one is that I counted the prime time games, and the Ravens have 3, which is a good sign for the Baltimore Ravens, right? That means that the league is rewarding us just, for being a loyal, good franchise who does things the right way. Because in the last couple of years, we've only had 2 or 1. So for our primetime games, I would say we have 3 and then the one in London. So for the first primetime game, I see is October 26th against the Dolphins. So again, that's a home game. Great. Second primetime game is the Monday Night Football game against the Houston Texans. Great. Third Monday Night Football game, of course, is the December 10th game against the Pittsburgh Steelers. At least one of those games are always primetime. So that's an away game now. And then, of course, you have the 9:30 a.m. game in London against the Jacksonville Jaguars. I wouldn't call it primetime, but it's a special scenario. So I'm excited about the schedule because of everything that, it looks favorable. Now, another highlight that I want to point out to you guys, that week 3 to week 5 is brutal. It's a brutal schedule. We play in London against Jacksonville. And then we have to come back up to Baltimore and play the Steelers, a tough opponent. And then we have to go all the way across the country to play the Raiders, another tough opponent. And come back home to play the Chicago Bears. So that's a tough 3 games, right? Because you have to go over to Jacksonville, and though the opponent may not be good, even Jacksonville will be a little bit better. The opponent may not be good, but you have to get it used to the London game thing. Jacksonville has done it before. The Ravens have not. Then you have to come back home in 1 week, get acclimated, and then play the Steelers, a division rival. So it's going to be a tough game. And then after that, you have to go play one of the best teams in the AFC in Oakland. So that's going to be another tough. Another hot take is the placement of the bye week. As you guys know, the Ravens had the bye week at week 4 and asked for it to be pushed back to week 10. And that shows that, the Ravens have a perfect bye week placement where they play about half the games in the front end, get a break, and then play half the games in the back end. And it's very favorable versus a team who has a bye week in week 4 and has to play 12 games straight. So, that's those are the hot takes from the schedule. And now I'm going to go one by one and predict the Ravens schedule one by one. So let's go through. So week 1, we have the Bengals. We're at the Bengals. First game of the year. I think this is a win for the Ravens. The Ravens usually perform very well on the first game of the season. John Harbaugh always performs well on the first game of the season in bye weeks. So I think we'll get a win in this game. I think the Bengals have gotten worse. And all over they're our team. I don't think they got better anywhere versus how the Ravens right now, we're worse on offense than we were, but we're better on defense. I think the Bengals have gotten worse on offense and defense. So that's one win for us. So against the Browns, another win. They're the Browns, right? The Browns aren't good. We're supposed to beat the Browns all the time. So again, this is our first home game of the season also. So that gives us a little bit of added, strength. Week 3, we go against the Jacksonville Jaguars in London. I think that's a win for the Ravens. The Jacksonville Jaguars are not a good team. They are not. They have Blake Bortles. He's a limited quarterback. The Ravens have a chance to go over there and make a statement starting the season off 3-0. I think they will. I think they have a chance. Home against the Steelers. I think this is a win because we're home against the Steelers. I think the Steelers are the better team, but when you're in a division, you always play hard against your division rivals, and the home game is enough to sway you either way. Now, it's going to be hard for the Ravens to get adjusted, but it being a home game is very good for them versus it being any other situation. So right now, for the first 4 games, the Ravens are 4-0. That stops here. I think the Ravens lose to the Raiders in week 5. The Raiders are very good. I don't think we can get it done. I think we beat the Bears. I don't think the Bears are a good team. They don't have a quarterback. The most important thing in this league is a quarterback. When it comes to week 7 against the Vikings, I think we lose that game. It would be the Ravens, have a ceiling that's not as high as other teams. So, we like to make the playoffs, but we know that we're not going to be a 14-win team. So, there's going to be games where you drop them. And a game going to Minneapolis with that stadium, which is the loudest stadium in the league, since the new construction, if you guys ever go there, it's booming. So, again, I think that's a loss. Coming back home against the Miami Dolphins, prime time, that's a win for the Ravens. The Ravens right now will have a good record right now at 6-2. Now, our schedule is easy. Right now, I think we have a chance to even go 7-2 because I have us going 7-2 because we're going to beat the Tennessee Titans in week 9. And another hitch there for the Ravens to win. And then our season gets much more difficult as time goes on. So we're going to see the Green Bay Packers. That's a loss. And Rodgers is better than our quarterback, Joe Flacco. And I think unless our defense proves that they're a great team, we're going to have an issue. We face the Houston Texans with a return J.J. Watt. I know they don't have a quarterback, but they made the playoffs 2 years in a row with terrible quarterbacks. They're going to, place a quarterback that's going to be able to get, some points, and the defense is going to be too good, especially against our offensive line trying to block Jadeveon Clowney and J.J. Watt. So that's a loss. The Lions are a much improved team. Lions are a team with a quarterback who can play. They have a great offensive coordinator in Jim Bob Cooter. And that's a loss. We are going to play the Steelers. We're going to play them at Heinz Field. Prime time. It seems they always beat us in prime time at their stadium. That's a loss. We play the Browns the next week. We get back on track. And if you guys see the rhythm, the Ravens have the ability. It's kind of crazy. Like last year where we won 3 games in a row and we lost 3 games in a row. Then we won 2 games. Then we lost 2. And then, the Ravens do that. I have no idea why. Most teams win, lose, win, lose, win, lose, win. It's interchangeable, but ours seem to go on a rhythm. When we go against the Colts, week 16, that will be a win. I truly do think that. I think the Colts are not good. I think Andrew Luck is good. The Colts are terrible. I think they don't help Andrew Luck. They're one of the worst run teams in football. I really do think that. If you can't get, pieces around a great quarterback, you have the hardest piece, but you can't get pieces around them. That's kind of terrible. And then against the Bengals, I think we split against the Bengals. I think that's a loss. So we'll see if I'm going to go through and see where we are. 1 win, 2 wins, 3 wins, 4 wins, 5 wins, 6 wins, 7 wins, 8 wins, 9-7 right now. 9-7 is where I have the Ravens going. Now this could easily flip and change. There's some teams I don't see us beating. I don't see us beating the Steelers 2 times. Steelers are a better team right now. I don't see us beating them 2 times. I don't see us beating the Raiders, Green Bay, and it's hard for me to see us beating Minneapolis on the road. That stadium is awesome. But if we can beat the Texans, which we have a possibility, if we can beat the Bengals twice, we do have a chance. So right now, I say that we're going to go 9-7. That would be my prediction. I wouldn't put the over under at 8.5 because I think it's more realistic that we get 10 wins instead of 8 wins. So I would put it at 9.5. And we have a chance to be great. We just got to be great, right? We have to be good. We have to address our offensive line and our offense as a whole. So again, today was going to be schedule heavy. If you like this episode, let me know. Again, it was a special event. So I have the Ravens now at 9-7. So if things may change, of course, I'm taking in what the Ravens are now, and I'm processing what the first couple of picks will be. And it won't be an offensive lineman. And I'm thinking if it's a receiver or it'll be a pass rusher. If it's a pass rusher, there won't be much change. But if it's a receiver who's a great receiver, we can easily get the 10 wins. But we're going to have to beat teams that we're not supposed to beat. So, again, thank you so much. This is the last call for mailbag questions for the week. Again, always send in questions to the theravensspace at Gmail. We'll do Ravens mailbag every week. This is the first one. We have some awesome questions already. It'll be going live on Monday. I want to thank you guys, so much for sending in your questions already. Also, I just want to thank you guys for watching. I appreciate it, and we had a good time. Again, if you have any questions specifically about the schedule, put it in the comments below, and I'll answer. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, please subscribe for all your Baltimore Ravens content. Also, please watch our next videos. We have great videos about the Ravens news, highlights, fan features. We have everything for the true Ravens fan. And remember, go Ravens.